Look what time it is. It says it right here on my professional notepad that I just fished out of my bin. It's March Q&A time. By the way, I don't know whether this adds anything to the Q&A or not, but I'll tell you what it does do. It saves a lot of editing. It turns out that drawing pictures myself is actually much faster than editing them in via Google. It's much easier to literally just draw it on this pad. It saves so much time. Plus, I kind of like having a little prop here. I don't know, it makes me feel semi-professional. And look what I found whilst I was rooting around for all of my Sharpies, of which I have loads of them. I found my Spider-Man mask. Well, it's more like a Spider-Man balaclava. I'm pretty sure that if I went into Tesco's wearing this, they'd call the police. Ah, memory lane. So I'm going to answer between about 5 and 10 questions. I'm going to see if I can have a nice mix of silly, a nice mix of serious, and hopefully you guys aren't too upset if I haven't answered your question. But once again, thank you very much to all of you that participated. And sorry if I didn't get to your question. There was loads of them. There was well over 900 comments in the span of, I don't know, not too many hours. Let's get to this. So for the first question, which is oddly political and got a weird amount of thumbs up, is your opinions on Donald Trump. This man right here. I don't have too many opinions on him because I don't really follow politics, so I only know the kind of hearsay that you hear from the internet, and from what I understand, he's a little bit of a Looney Tune, but I'll tell you, the videos that I've watched on YouTube of him debating, the little snippets from all of his debates, he's a pretty entertaining guy. Whether he'd make a good president or not, who knows? Probably not, but it's a difficult job to do. You probably can't blame him, so if nothing else, he's entertaining. Don't know whether he'd make a good president, but it would certainly be interesting to see him in the White House, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be interesting? It would turn America into a fantastic reality show. It really would. And I'm all for it. You know what? I think that I've just became a Trump supporter. Not that I can vote. My vote doesn't matter, but maybe we'll become a Trump supporter. Maybe I'll move over there, gain citizenship before your general election or whatever you guys call it, and maybe I'll vote for the Trumpmeister. Next question. On a more serious note, we have, what's 9 plus 10? This is going to take some working out. Okay, we can work this out. So we have 9, which is this many, and we're going to add 10, which is this many. We have the calculation here. We're working it out so far, and then equals. They taught you this in school, but there's also a fancy method. I can't figure that out by myself, so what I'm going to do is, can you guys remember this? You do something like this. It's like 9, and then you put 10 in there, and then you add 1, and you put numbers there, and then eventually it spits out a number that is it's very similar to that. Is that the right answer? Oh wait, no, that's wrong. Hang on. I miscalculated. It actually comes out to D's nuts. Next question, on to a silly question. Q&A, who is your favourite game but not Minecraft? Well, I think he means what is your favourite game, but I actually might be able to show you. It's a mobile game, so let me see if I can get this working. So this is my current favourite game. It's called Clash Royale. It hasn't been out for very long, I think about 3 days or so, but I am telling you, I am just about addicted to this thing. I haven't played a game like this in quite some time, in which I have been so compelled that I really just can't put it down. I've been playing this for just about non-stop for, like I said, about 3 days I think it's been out, maybe 4, I don't know. Time has been flying with it, let me tell you. I've lost so many hours to this thing, it's unbelievable. It's a very simple concept. On your side, you have a main tower and 2 towers, and on the opponent's side, you have the same. You have a battlefield, it's separated by a river, you have to cross the bridges to go over and attack your opponent's towers. You destroy them. You destroy them by summoning minions, by using spells, by using towers, by planting them down. You have a selection of cards which does all of those things. Each one of those cards summons a minion, summons a tower, uses a spell. They all have different properties. Some are ranged, some deal area damage, some summon things, some only attack towers, some attack minions, some specialize in one thing, some specialize in another. All of them have costs. Everybody has roughly the same cards, because the cards are gated off depending on your particular arena level. Like here, I think that I'm at like 1200 or so points. I can't see it on the actual screen, which means I think that I'm arena level 4 or 5. and everybody has roughly the same access to all of the cards. It's not that pay to win. You upgrade your cards. You see here how we have like that big giant skeletal bomber warrior. He is upgraded. I think he's like level 3 or so. Like, the more of the cards that you collect, the more you can upgrade them using coins. For instance, you see those big, giant, flying little winged creatures? Those are quite high. They're like level 7 because I've had loads of them. So there's kind of like an RPG element in which you collect them, you build them up. There's kind of like card game, come just really competitive, compelling strategic play, come RPG. It is so much fun. I would recommend it to anyone, and it's not that much pay to win. It's a little pay to win at the higher levels, but it's not that much pay to win. Check it out, Clash Royale. I love that game. Oh, and on to another life question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your favorite color of the alphabet? That's funny, because my favorite color is apple. Next question. Oh wow. What is the scariest / most challenging that has ever happened to you or that you have done? What's the most challenging or scariest thing that I have ever done? Well, waking up this morning was probably the most challenging thing for me. I didn't get too much sleep. I was busy editing and recording the Ender Dragon last night. The scariest thing, honestly, have you ever went to the toilet and you've done a number 2? That's one of them. You've done one of those, and you realise that there is just not enough toilet paper. You think there's enough, but you just keep going and going and going, and it turns out that there's just not enough. Has that ever happened to you? That is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. There was enough in the end. I didn't have to use my hand, I swear. Next question. This is more of a demander than a question, but I'll do it anyway. Say this 10 times. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Iris wristwatch. Iris wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish If you fail, you have to answer this question. Do you have a girlfriend? I do. If not, can I marry you? Okay, well, I might be willing to get rid of her, but I need to know what you bring to the table. What is it that you can give to me? Let me know. Can I marry you? I don't even have a ring yet. Ooh, I like this one. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I think that I'd like to live. Alright, so let's see if you can guess where I want to live by the drawings. So we're going to start off with an island. That's an island. There's going to be some lovely white sandy beaches. That's what the yellow is for. It's surrounded by water, as most islands are. Oh, that's lovely, that is. There's some nice trees. We have some lovely trees on this island. Loads and loads of trees. The only problem with the island, however, is there's a volcano. There's volcanoes on this island. I think that I would like to live in Hawaii. That place seems magical. You're on an island. It's always sunny. There's lovely beaches. There's an amazing atmosphere. There's amazing food, mainly just meat, from what I understand. Everybody seems nice and relaxed. How could you not be relaxed? You're in Hawaii. You're basically in somebody's holiday fantasy. I think that I'd like to live in Hawaii, if the internet's good, and as long as this doesn't happen. Let me illustrate for you my concerns. This is my concern. I don't want to be incinerated by a volcano, but everything else about it, literally everything else, as long as the internet is good, is kind of like my personal paradise. I would love that. Hawaii, one day. One of these days, one of these days. If you could swap an animal's face with another animal's body and keep it as your pet, what animal would it be? So you're asking me to genetically engineer a poor helpless animal and then keep it for my own personal amusement? I'm in! Okay, let me think about this. This requires a lot of thought. This is right up my alley. I need to think about this. I think I'd make a bear pig. Those are really my two favourite worlds. Not only do you have the bear, which is really a lovable creature. I do love bears. They're just so soft and cuddly, apart from the razor-sharp claws. But if you take the claws away, and if you replace it with little trotters, if you give them little trotters instead, which are not nearly as harmless, and if you take away those snarling teeth and give it a nice little snout instead, then I think that you've got really the perfect animal. You have all the cuddliness and loveliness of a bear, and you have the harmlessness of a nice little pig. The bear pig, coming to a town near you. Or not. Or maybe I'd just mix a starfish and a sponge and see what'd happen. Another serious-ish question, what made you start building? Well, I was sat in my room one day playing Minecraft, I was playing survival, I was building nothing. A guy bursts through the door in a Spider-Man balaclava. He holds a gun to my head and tells me, You start building, otherwise you... That's how I started building. My Spider-Man I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but my balaclava, it landed on my microphone. But to answer your question seriously, I've always loved building stuff. Even when I was younger, like my favourite toys were like Mega Bloks, Kinects, Bionicles, Lego. I loved building stuff, I always have, so it's no surprise to me that when I stepped into Minecraft, God knows how many years later, the first thing that I wanted to do was not like do the whole survival thing in the open world. I didn't want to do that and venture down to the nether and kill everything. The first thing that I wanted to do was build a really cool house, and I did. I wish I still had the world. I wish I still had it. The first thing I built was literally a house in the middle of a glass dome, very much like Sandy's treehouse, and it was surrounded by gold. There was like just gold flooring. There was a massive golden elevator, if anybody remembers far back to that video. That's like the second video that I ever uploaded. Had a gold elevator. There was like a way to get up from there was like a little secret pool entrance. It was amazing. I don't know whether this better illustrates it, but it was like a house, a dome. There was like gold paving everywhere. Then there was water surrounding the house. You had a tunnel coming out underneath to take you to an elevator, which actually let you get out of the dome. And then there was like also a little tunnel to underground, like, and there was a slime farm and the nether and stuff like. That's the very first house that I made, and it was it was amazing. And to finish this up, this is the last question that I'm going to answer. What is your favourite build so far of 2016, and what is your least favourite build so far of 2016? Well, luckily, these two things are really, really close together, and I'm going to bring them up on screen right now. My favourite build of 2016 is definitely my school. I am so glad that I finally broke down and decided to make it, because I love that thing. I love the interior, I love the exterior, I like the fact that I can add more to it if I want. If I wanted to add a gym, I can add a gym. I added a school bus to it, I could add even more. I could add anything to that school, and everything works. It all looks amazing. I don't know, it's easy to make as well. I love that school, but my least favourite build, and it's not because I don't like the design, don't get me wrong, I like the design, I like the statue. The statue looks fantastic. The Ender Dragon. I have never been tormented so much in 2016 by a build than building the Ender Dragon. Even the tutorial, which I made yesterday, last night actually, I didn't get too much sleep, was just such a nightmare that I never want to build that thing again. Ever. I never want to build the Ender Dragon again, but it is such a cool build. It's so massive. You'll see it floating above the school. That's how large that thing is. So my favourite build, hands down, on the Sharpie desk is my school, and definitely the Ender Dragon is my least favourite, but not because I don't like the statue, because of how much torment it has caused me. And that is the last question, which means it's the end of the Q&A, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. I know that I've enjoyed recording it. It's been a pretty interesting Q&A. Got some pretty decent questions. I really have enjoyed this. I'm glad that I've got this knocked out nice and early. Maybe you'll even see another one in March if this video gets good enough ratings, if you guys really want to see more. If you like it, give it the old thumbs up. Let me know that you want to see more. Comment down below. Tell me. Check out the card system for my previous Q&A, and I guess that's really it, so I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Everywhere I roll in my room, I'm rolling over paper. Worth it.